Hello and welcome to another episode of Alex's Afternoon Art Show. Today we are continuing the MarvelVs.Capcom mural yet again. And today we are drawing Jin. So yeah, it's going to be hard to try and make him not look like Ryu. Primarily because of the headband. He'll stand out well enough. Anyways, let's start. Now, as you might tell, there's no new anything going on just yet. Nothing new just yet. So, before I zoom in too much, I will turn off everything that doesn't need to be there. So, we'll turn off all those. And we'll turn off all of these. So now, Jin will be covering a bit of a Mingo. So that will just be something I suppose we have to worry about. And again, because of the nature of this file, it's going to run a little slowly. So may as well turn everything else off now as well, just to save us some time. And yeah, it takes a minute to turn things off now. And sometimes it just doesn't register the mouse clicks, which is very frustrating. You have to click it down very hard in order for it to register sometimes. Anyways, we got Jin out. So, I think, based on last time, I think our 100% zoom was a good idea. I think it helped a lot when it came to getting our details done and making them clean enough that they're not, like, distracting. Yeah, I think it's a good idea anyways, to stick with the, 100% zoom for actually drawing it. Brain failed me there. Yeah, I might make his eyes bigger, because his eyes are often either really small or really big, and I feel like in this instance it doesn't make much sense for them to be really small, because his eyes aren't normally small whenever he's yelling. Because in a lot of instances he's got quite like anime-ish eyes, so they should probably be a lot bigger if he's going to be yelling. This is getting lost on me. Yeah, generally when he was yelling he's got kind of bigger eyes. Now, some of those pouches are supposed to be different colours. I'm not sure which are supposed to be which though. So these kind of little buckle things he's got going are supposed to be brown for the most part. He's got a lot of silver on him, and bits and pieces with little moving parts. Yeah. Well, I suppose we'll see whenever we actually start this. Which we may as well start doing now, just to get into it. So yeah, I'll make the details, detail, then I'll save, and yeah, look at that. It takes 5 seconds to save now. Now that everything's off. Yeah, very frustrating. Anyways, I need to turn this fan on because I'm dying. So, loud chair creak. But yeah, we're about an hour in, and yeah, we are only this much through, so we're gonna get this for a while, I'd wager. At this point, I'm just kind of chiming in here just to break up the parts that I have to speed up, because in order to speak, I have to turn off the fan, and I'm already starting to feel the sweat pooling up the second I turn that off. So it's really not ideal doing that. It just means that within about 10 minutes of having that fan off, I begin to just die, basically. That's basically what happens to me, is that I just start melting. I just start turning into a puddle. But yeah, I may as well take this opportunity to, I suppose, talk about Jin a little bit, because I don't know a huge amount about this character, and I imagine most people do not know much about the character, because he's a weird, obscure character from I believe it was only ever released in Japan, but it recently came out on that fighting game collection that they did recently. That Capcom did recently. But yeah, I imagine most people probably only know him from Marvel vs. Capcom, because that's where he's more notable for, because in the game that he comes from, Cyberbots, it's a mech fighting game, so he's not actually fighting technically. It's just a case of where you see like a little image at the side of him, and the other pilots. He's just a pilot. So this is the thing. It's kind of weird that he's the character in Marvel vs. Capcom, because yeah, again, as I say, he's not the playable character, which is weird. But yeah, I am dying here. Yeah. Just trying to study some of this reference here and figure out what this is supposed to look like. Because, yeah, the legs are the parts of the reference, where there's not as much reference for old Jin's legs. There's not many a front-facing shot of him. Right, okay, I think I'm gonna have to use this as my template. Yeah, this is what we're gonna have to go on, I think. Yeah, so I don't know where I got these knee pads from, because that's seemingly not what they look like. So, anyways, but yeah, as I say, Jin is from Cyberbots, and kind of weird and obscure. But Jin is kind of a fun type of character to be thrown into a Marvel vs. Capcom, or just any fighting game really, because he's a big scream lord. So it's always fun to have characters like that who are just kind of really over the top. But yeah, I'll try not to keep talking for too long, because I honestly feel the moisture level in my body becoming dangerously low. But yeah, anyways, we'll get back to this and carry on. Okay, so that is our details done. Only an hour and 10 minutes in. This is going to take a while, this one. But yeah, next is the dots, and I believe I'm going to take a quick break just so that I can get a drink, because good lord, it is hot in here. I need to get some ice to cool myself off. So, anyways, I'll be back in but a moment. Okay, I've had myself a drink. and it has, yeah, not really made that much of a difference, I have to say. I'm still dying of the heat. But yeah, let's start doing these dots. I'll grab the brush, do my normal business, and then we shall get these dots over and done with. And it's onto the colours, which, at the very least, are not very varied. Anyways. Anyways, now we are on to our colours now. Now that we finished that, I think this is one of those situations where I can get away with just reusing a skin tone from somebody else. I can probably just use reuse. Ryu and Hayato both have the same skin tone, I think. If I just take Hayato's skin tone and maybe make it a little bit paler. Or no, I should probably make it a little deeper. And then bring it up a little bit. Yeah, a bit paler. And bring it up on the scale a little bit. And that should do us for the skin tone. But yeah. Throw on the background. And then get the brush ready. And then we shall be able to get through this reasonably fast, I think. Because yeah, he's not got many colours, so maybe this will be quick, maybe it won't. Who knows? Hopefully. But yeah, anyways, I'll go through this now. Now, that is our colour done. Time for shading. We're nearing the what do you call it? The 2-hour mark now. So yeah, we're nearly there. Just our shading, which will be about 20 minutes ish, and then our light line, which will be about 10 minutes. So another half an hour roughly. Yeah, we'll see what we're at in a few minutes. Anyways, I will grab my colours here and then we shall begin. Okay. Alright, time for this. Okay, we're nearly done. All we've got to do now is just the light line, and that is us, and then we're finished. Just our one last step to freedom. And yeah, we have just got this little bit to do. And that is us. It might feel superfluous to have a light line on a drawing which is primarily made up of the color white. And you might be right to think that, but I'm going to do it anyways. It's important for consistency at this point alone. So anyways, it's time to continue and get this over with. Oh, okay. We're done. Hands off. Hands off. It's finished. That's Jin. And I am tired. That is 2.5 hours of recording yet again. And I am tired. Mercifully, the sun hasn't gone down that much while we've been doing this, so I won't have to worry too much, I don't think, about the light changing. Because that can sometimes make the files a little funky whenever that happens. But anyways, I'll close up this file. We'll turn off the background. I was sure to make, yeah, his. Well, I mean, because of like the yellow and the purple, you can really, you can tell it apart. Anyways, but I made his white slightly blue. It's not really all that noticeable. But yeah, maybe. We're going to want to zoom it out to about like 12 if I remember correctly, just to fit everything in. But yeah, let's throw on the ones that are there. And yeah, the mango is a bit covered up, but I think we can live with that. I think we can live with the mango being a little covered up. I might zoom back in a second here just to, you know, I'll do it now actually, just so that I can see it, because the file will get a bit funky whenever I zoom in here. Yeah, it's covered a lot of a mango, but I mean, in the same sense, I don't think people mind that much. I don't think people are gonna miss a mango too much. But I think technically Jin is actually the furthest forward character, because he's further forward than Strider by a little bit. It's always these characters with these big plumy scarves. And the wind is coming from a different side here than it is here. But I suppose he's also moving in this direction, so naturally it would kind of go back that way. It would go back that way because he's moving towards this way. But Strider's moving this way, and say it's like looping around like that, it's like flapping out that way. He's moving this way, so it's flapping out that way to follow him, maybe. Because he's stopped in that position. Hell if I know, I'm just justifying it at this point. Yeah. Anyways, zoom back out to my normal percentage and see what I can fit in this shot, just so that we can get an estimate of what we're looking at here. So yeah, you know what, this fits. This fits the edges that we've got going. So yeah. Next time we do a character though, it's not going to, which means 12.5% has just reached its death knell, which means we're going to need to zoom out to what? What's the next one after that, after 12.5%? 8.33%, which is basically zoomed out to maximum at this point, near enough. But yeah, so next time who have we got? We've got Silver Samurai next time. So, another silvery character, another character who has a very limited color palette. But yeah, I'll let this sit and save now for the 20 minutes that it's going to take. It's surprisingly fast this time actually. Anyways, I believe we have talked enough so far. I'm noticing a slight bit of desync there on the camera. Probably it doesn't. I've noticed that it doesn't really come out as much in the actual video, even though it comes out a little bit in the camera. Anyways, yeah, I suppose I'll sign off. I'll start wrapping up. So if you like the video, do what you normally do, whether that be liking it or not. I don't mind. If you want to like the video, go for it. If you don't normally, I don't mind. And it's the same deal. If you want to subscribe if you want. If you don't normal, if you would prefer to just continue watching without subscribing, or if this is your first video, whatever you would normally do, if you enjoyed it enough to subscribe, I'd be very happy. And yeah, if you decide to watch the next video, I'll see you next time. That is us, I think. So I will say goodbye to you now. So, bye bye.